So I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast a couple weeks ago. I listen to podcasts from time to time whenever I'm trying to just run some errands or even during the workouts. And the topic of discussion, and he had a MMA fighter, a former MMA fighter, as his guest, and the topic of discussion was on athletes who don't hang it up or who hang on too long and don't retire when they should. Guys like Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest of all time boxers. I would say his last 4 or 5 fights should just not have happened. He was way past his prime, and he probably increased his chances of getting more injuries. Rest in peace. There's other like MMA fighters like Dan Henderson. I mean, I don't know how old he is now, but his upper 40s. And when you do this, you increase your chances of a lot more injuries, and especially with CTE. If you haven't seen the movie Concussion, starring Will Smith, it's based on on a true story about the doctor who I forgot his name, but he discovered CTE, and CTE is a really it's nothing to mess with. That's just the facts. I don't care how much money you make as a prize fighter or in the NFL. But there's a very small minority of fighters that do hang it up a little bit early for whatever reasons, such as Barry Sanders, the ex running back, one of the best ever of the Detroit Lions. I'm trying to think. Andre Ward, the the boxer Marvin Hagler. He retired pretty early, and you got to quit while you're ahead. And I think a lot of athletes do this because they just they're so used to getting a lot of attention. I'm not saying it's all attention based, but I think they miss that adrenaline rush, and rightfully so. I mean, I don't miss all those years of wrestling practice and cutting weight and all that, but the amount of just adrenaline rush that you get from competition, especially one-on-one combat, it can be like a drug, and it's addicting, and a lot of people just don't know when to stop. So why am I talking about this? Why is this the topic of discussion for this channel? Because most people, such as myself and you guys and gals, and most people in society, do not ever reach that pinnacle of athletic achievement. That may be true, but this video can pertain to the everyday person, because I've seen people that they used to run a lot of marathons, and maybe they ran a sub 3 hour marathon as a competitive, casual slash competitive runner. And then they're always trying to chase that 3 hour mark when they reached it in their early 20s. And then they run like a 3:10, 3:15, 3:07. They keep chasing it, and then it's good to hit a PR, but one of the worst things that could happen is maybe once in a blue moon you might get close to that that 3 hour milestone, 3 hour mile, 3 hour marathon, excuse me, and then you still feel like you can do it and do it and do it. And that can be problematic because you can cause a lot of injuries. I've known people that have ran a lot of marathons, and they just had like plantar fasciitis, knee problems, and they just keep trying to ignore it. They take a little bit of time off, and they keep fighting, and they want to reach that goal, and they just keep chasing it. Kind of like a drug addict. They're chasing the drag, they're chasing that achievement. But what happens is everyone ages, and daddy time catches up, mommy time catches up, and that's just the facts. So it's always good to still go for your goals, but don't be like those ex-athletes and be, I shouldn't go like this. I won't say, brainwashed or crazy, but you need to understand that there comes a point in which you're not going to be able to reach your pinnacle once you reach a certain age. What exactly is that age? I can't 100% say. With athletes, a lot of times they say that people's prime is between 26 and 30. That's where your mental and your physical are at its come together and is at its peak. It also depends on the type of sport. So, if you do have a workout in which you do really well, that's fine, but don't risk your health for it. If you used to bench 3 plates and you benched 315 years ago, and all of a sudden you started going back on strength training program and you're getting pretty close to 315, but every time you hit 305, you keep, tearing your pectoral muscle, that your body's telling you something. You may not get it. So count your blessings. Count your blessings, You don't want to risk an injury that could be life altering. I don't want to scare you guys and gals, but you got to think about the long term achievements. The your long term health. What good is a number if you're crippled? So just to keep it in perspective, I'll be probably doing a couple more of these videos. And I didn't do a lot of these types of videos when I first saw the channel because I was much younger. But now that I'm in my 40s, these are types of things. I'm still young, but these are types of things that you need to think about. So that's my time. Hopefully, if you made this far, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.